my dear student friends, myself Professor Vishali Saunke, teaching courses on electronics to the BSc Computer Science students and working in Progressive Education Society's Modern College of Arts, Science and Commerce Ganesh Kind, Pune, which is affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University. In the previous video, we have seen the different blocks required in any computer system, and further the computer system on chip, more specifically named as a microcontroller. Basic microcontroller introduced by Intel is 8051. It includes the basic features of any computer system, and these features, as we know, are the central processing unit, storage devices for both permanent and temporary data, respectively ROM and RAM memories, and to provide the data and see the data, input-output devices. The devices can be connected in parallel or serial manner. So I/O ports, which are parallel and serial. Along with these three basic units or features, also to synchronize the internal operation, it includes oscillator, for some applications timers and counters, to handle unwanted procedures, interrupt controller, and to have an expansion of the memories or expansion of the system, a bus control unit. Going ahead to the block diagram of an 8051 microcontroller, which we just said that it is a basic microcontroller including the basic units of any computer system on chip. As we know, heart of a computer or brain of a computer system is an central processing unit. So the first block that we have inside 8051 microcontroller is an central processing unit. It needs to communicate with the other units present inside the system, and for that a bus is getting connected from the CPU and to the CPU to communicate the data. In the last video we already have seen that there are three types of buses: address, data and control buses. Here we have shown a single one internal bus which includes all these three buses. Along with the central processing unit, also the computer system needs a RAM memory where a temporary data can be stored. The RAM memory, which is implemented on chip of 8051, has a capacity of 128 bytes. In one location, 8 bits can be stored. 8 bit equals 1 byte, and such 128 bytes can be stored inside the RAM memory. As RAM memory has to give and take the data, the bus connected to the RAM memory should be bidirectional. Along with the temporary data, programs or codes are to be stored inside a permanent memory, which is called as a read-only memory. As code is getting stored inside this memory, also referred to as a code memory. On chip of 8051, we can see 4 kilobytes of ROM memory where a program can be previously stored to the other parts of the CPU. So it is a read-only memory. Along with these memory devices, we also have seen that we need to connect the different input-output devices. Basically, when the devices are parallel communication devices, we have 4 I/O ports are included in 8051, where at a time we can have 4 input output devices can be connected simultaneously. These ports are 8-bit ports. That means the parallel communication devices can communicate 8 bit of data at a time. These ports are named or referred to as port P0, P1, P2 and P3. The data given and taken via these ports should be communicated to the internal of the system via a bidirectional bus connected. Along with the parallel communication devices, there are also some input-output devices which needs to communicate a data serially. Serial communication means communicating a data bit by bit. Single wired connection is required, and therefore serial communication port is also included on chip of central processing on chip of an 8051 microcontroller. CPU has to transmit a data to the output devices, so we have a transmit pin named as TX, while the input devices can communicate a data on a receive pin of 8051, that is RX. Whatever this serial communication, either transmission or reception, as is going to happen bit by bit, at the end of a single data communication, we should have an interrupt generated in the system to tell the system that a byte of a data has been communicated. For that, the system generates, or serial communication facility generates, and serial communication interrupt SI, which is internal to the system, further can be used as an interrupt. This serially communicated data should be parallelly communicated inside of the system, and that's why a parallel bus is connected to the serial communication port inside of the system. Along with these IO ports, sometimes the timing or counting applications are required. In that case, we need timer facility or counter facility. These are nothing but simply the counters which count the number of pulses on its clock input. The two timers are present on 8051 microcontroller, timer 0 and timer 1. The timers or counters can start from 0 and can reach maximum up to 65,535 of the count. Whenever they reach a maximum count, each counter or timer generates an overflow condition and can be used further to interrupt the system internally, and it is called as a timer overflow condition. TF0 is the signal generated or the flag generated by timer 0, while timer 1 generates an TF1 signal. Both these timers, when are overflowing and when are used as an interrupt, can generate an internal interrupt to the system. As now we came to know that there are 3 total internal interrupts because of the serial communication and timer facilities on 8051 microcontroller. We need to control these interrupts. So interrupt controller is also implemented on chip of 8051 to handle these interrupts. Along with the 2 timer interrupts just now we discussed and the serial communication interrupt, due to serial communication process, we have 2 external interrupts in the system. Those are INT0 and INT1, which can be generated with the help of some external circuits, and the external processes can interrupt the system of 8051 on these 2 pins. Above all these four interrupts, there is also one more interrupt is there, which is called as a reset interrupt. It is the highest priority interrupt. Whenever this interrupt is going to occur, the system gets reinitialized. All these interrupts should be processed, and for that it needs to be communicated to the central processing unit, and that is why this interrupt control unit is also getting connected to the central processing unit via an internal bus. All these blocks and the one more block needs to be synchronized for their operation, as they have to work together. So oscillator is also implemented on chip of 8051. Oscillator part is a semiconductor part. Along with this, we need also crystal to be connected to the oscillator, which cannot be implemented on chip of 8051, and that's why two connections we can see out of 8051 where the crystal can be connected. Crystal 0 and crystal 1, these are the two pins available external to the external circuitry where the crystal can be connected. Whenever the internal RAM and ROM memories are insufficient for storage, in that case the memories can be externally connected. It is called as a memory expansion. In that case, bus interface in your unit should be also implemented, should be available, and that also is implemented inside 8051 controller. This interface unit basically has three signals. One of the signal is called as an address latch enable, which is getting used for connecting any of the two types of memories externally connected. Along with this, we have a program store enabled to deal with the ROM memories or code memories. Whenever any of these two types of memories are getting connected externally, the system should know whether to use the external memory or internal memory, and for that we have one more signal is there, which is called as an external access EA. It is an active low signal. That means whenever external memories are to be used by the system, this pin should get connected to the ground connection. This bus interface unit again should communicate to the internal of the system, and that is getting connected via the bus of internal bus. So this way, which are the basic features are available inside any computer, all these basic features are included on chip of 8051 microcontroller. So it can be used as a computer system on chip. By connecting some external few devices, we can use it for some specific application. After knowing these basic features, we need to go ahead for the pin configuration of 8051. In the next video, we'll see the pin configuration of 8051.